Have you ever felt like someone was pushing all your buttons on purpose? Like they were trying to see how far they could go before you snapped? Maybe it was a colleague, a family member, or even a stranger. And in that moment, your heart raced, your jaw tightened, and every part of you wanted to fire back, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong. But you didn't. Or maybe you did. Either way, something inside you knew. This wasn't about them. It was about you. Because the real test wasn't what they said. It was how you responded. You see, life has a way of putting people in your path who seem like obstacles, but they're actually mirrors. They reflect the parts of you that still need mastering. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll see it. The anger, the fear, the urge to control. That's where your power is. Not in controlling the world, but in mastering yourself. Napoleon Hill once said, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts." And when people test you, that's when the real work begins. That's when you discover who you really are. This video is about one thing: mastering your emotions when people try to pull you out of character. It's about learning how to stay calm, grounded, and unshakable, no matter what chaos swirls around you. And this isn't just about being nice or tolerant. It's about building the kind of inner strength that makes you unstoppable. Because the truth is, how you react under pressure reveals everything about where you are on your path. When someone insults you, disrespects you, or doubts you, it's not a moment to collapse. It's a moment to rise. Right now, more than ever, the world is loud, reactive, and full of noise. But your peace, your calm, that's your superpower. And in this video, we're going to uncover the timeless wisdom Napoleon Hill gave us. To reclaim that power, to become the master of your emotions, and to never let anyone else dictate your state of mind. You've been trying to stay calm. You tell yourself not to react, not to let it get to you. But then, it happens again. Someone talks down to you. Someone questions your worth. They push your limits, and suddenly, that calm you were holding onto feels like it's slipping through your fingers. Your heart pounds. Your thoughts race. You replay the moment over and over, wishing you had said more, or wishing you had said less. And deep down, you're tired. Tired of always feeling like you're on the edge, like one wrong word could ruin your whole day. You start to wonder, why do they have this power over me? Why do I keep letting the same people, the same patterns, get under my skin? It feels like a storm you can't control. One minute you're fine, the next you're caught in a wave of frustration or self-doubt. And maybe the worst part is, after the dust settles, you don't feel stronger. You feel weaker. Like you lost something. Your peace, your focus, yourself. But what if that didn't have to be your reality anymore? What if you could finally take back control, not of them, but of you? Let me tell you something most people never hear. You don't have to live in reaction mode for the rest of your life. You don't have to flinch every time life throws a jab. You don't have to spend your days cleaning up emotional messes caused by someone else's chaos. But here's the wake-up call. If you don't change something now, you will keep living this same loop over and over again. Different faces, same frustration, different day, same pain. Imagine 10 years from now, you're sitting at the same job, dealing with the same energy-draining people. Or maybe you've switched environments, but the triggers are still there, just wearing new faces. You still feel like your peace depends on how others treat you. You still lose hours, even days, recovering from one moment of anger. You still feel like your emotions own you instead of the other way around. But what if you took a different path? Imagine waking up with a calm that no one could shake. Someone insults you, and it's like throwing a pebble at a mountain. You don't react, you respond. And that response comes from strength, not ego. You're no longer controlled by the mood of the moment. You've built something stronger than reaction. You've built resilience. Napoleon Hill said, Until you learn to control your emotions, you will never master anything else. Let that sink in. Your success, your relationships, your peace, it all begins with this: mastering your response, protecting your energy, refusing to hand over your power to someone who didn't earn it. It's time to stop being a victim of your triggers. It's time to wake up, because the life you want, the peace, the control, the strength, it's not waiting out there. It's already inside you. You just have to reclaim it. Right now, you might feel stuck, like the way you react is just who you are. But here's the truth that changes everything. You are one decision away from a completely different life. That moment when you choose to no longer give your power away. That moment when you decide to rise above the chaos instead of sinking into it, that's the moment everything shifts. Change doesn't come from waiting for motivation or feeling ready. It comes from clarity and consistent action. It comes from knowing what you want and then taking deliberate steps toward it every single day. You don't have to feel perfect or fearless to start. You just have to decide. Let me share a simple but powerful framework that Napoleon Hill's teachings inspire. Vision, decision, action, results. First, you create a clear vision of the person you want to be. The calm, unshakable version of yourself who controls their emotions and owns their power. Then, you make a firm decision to commit to that vision, no matter what. Next, you take action. Small, intentional steps that build your strength and self-mastery. And finally, those actions bring results, confidence, peace, and the ability to stay calm when tested. It's a cycle, and it works. But it starts with one decision. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to take control of your reactions. You don't have to wait until life gets easier. The power is in your hands today. And when you take that first step, everything changes. Because transformation isn't magic. It's a choice, and you're ready to make it. There's a story I want to share with you. A story about a man named James, who, not too long ago, was caught in the very same battle you're fighting right now. James worked in a busy office where stress was the norm and tempers often flared. He was someone who cared deeply about doing his best, but whenever someone challenged him, criticized him, or pushed his buttons, he would lose control. His face would flush, his words would stumble, and afterward, he felt drained and ashamed. It wasn't just about the moments of conflict. Those moments spilled into his evenings and weekends. He found himself replaying arguments, feeling restless and defeated. James felt like he was trapped in a cycle, where every test was a reminder of how little control he had over himself. But then something changed. One day, after a particularly tough meeting where a colleague publicly undermined him, James sat alone, in his car, heart pounding, hands shaking. He was ready to explode, but instead, he paused. In that silence, he remembered something he had read years ago, a simple idea that stuck with him. Mastery begins with mastery over your own mind. That day, he made a decision. He decided he would no longer let other people dictate his peace. He wouldn't be a puppet to their words or actions. It wasn't easy. The first few weeks were brutal. James caught himself slipping into old habits, reacting before thinking. But slowly, he started practicing something powerful: pausing. When someone said something harsh or disrespectful, instead of reacting immediately, he would take a deep breath, remind himself of his vision, and choose his response. Some days he failed. Other days he won small victories. Gradually, things began to shift. His confidence grew, and so did his calm. People noticed the change, not because James became cold or distant, but because he became steady and reliable. His relationships improved, his stress levels dropped, and he started enjoying work again. More importantly, James felt free. Free from the emotional roller coaster that had controlled him for so long. Here's the thing: James isn't special. He's not a superhero or a guru. He's just someone who decided to take control of his mind. And that means you can do it too. His story is your story in disguise. The next time someone tries to test you, remember James sitting in that car, heart racing but choosing calm instead of chaos. That moment can be yours too, because your struggle today is not your forever. With each choice, with each pause, you're building your own transformation, one moment at a time. If you're ready to take control and stay calm when people test you, here's a simple, powerful blueprint you can start using today. These steps aren't complicated, but they require commitment, and that's where your real power lies. First, recognize your triggers. Pay close attention to the moments when you feel yourself getting upset or defensive. Is it a certain person, a particular tone, or maybe a topic that hits too close to home? Awareness is the foundation of mastery. When you know what sets you off, you can prepare yourself mentally to face it without losing control. Try keeping a small journal or notes on your phone where you jot down these moments. Over time, you'll see patterns and gain clarity. Second, practice the pause. This is your secret weapon. When you feel that rush of emotion, the heat in your chest, the urge to snap back, pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 3. This small break interrupts the automatic reaction and gives you space to choose a calm, intentional response instead of an impulsive one. It's like training a muscle. At first, it's hard, but with practice, it becomes natural. Third, reframe the situation. When someone challenges you, instead of seeing it as an attack, try viewing it as a test of your strength. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? This mindset shift changes the energy entirely. You're no longer a victim. You're a warrior mastering your emotions. Fourth, anchor yourself with a personal mantra or vision. Create a short phrase that reminds you who you want to be. Something like, I am calm, I am in control, or peace is my power. Repeat it silently whenever you feel tested. This anchors you to your higher self and pulls you back from the edge. Finally, commit to daily reflection. At the end of each day, spend a few minutes reviewing your progress. Celebrate the moments you stayed calm and gently note where you slipped. This isn't about judgment, it's about growth. Over time, these reflections build momentum and deepen your self-mastery. Remember, these steps aren't a quick fix. They're a path, a daily practice that transforms how you respond to life's challenges. Start small, be patient with yourself, and keep moving forward. The calm, the control, the peace you crave, they're waiting for you on the other side of these choices. And you have everything you need to get there. There's a truth you need to hear, and it's one that can shake you to your core. The life you want, the peace, the power, the freedom, will never come from outside you. No promotion, no praise, no approval from others can give you what only you can create within. The calm you crave, the unshakable strength, the self-mastery, they are already inside you, waiting to be claimed. But here's the catch. Life will not change until you change. That version of yourself, the one who stands tall, calm in the storm, unbothered by the chaos, she's real. He's real. But that person isn't handed to you on a silver platter. That person is forged in the fires of struggle, in the quiet battles where no one is watching. The version of you that you admire is real, but only if you're brave enough to suffer for it. Brave enough to face your weaknesses head-on. Brave enough to say, I will no longer be a slave to my emotions. This is your turning point. This moment, right now. Because the pain you felt, the frustration, the anger, the feeling of losing yourself, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a signal, a call to rise. When you feel the weight of those emotions, remember, that weight can either crush you or build you. It's your choice. Mastery is not about perfection. it's about courage. Courage to pause when every instinct tells you to explode. Courage to breathe deeply when your world feels like it's collapsing. Courage to choose peace over chaos every single time. This is the real power. This is the freedom no one can take from you. So, I ask you, are you ready to step into that power? Are you ready to stop handing your peace over to others? Because once you decide to change your inner world, everything else will follow. Your relationships will shift. Your work will improve. Your confidence will soar. But it all starts here, inside you, with one simple truth. You control your mind. Your mind controls your life, and you have the power to master it. The calm you desire is not a distant dream. It's your birthright, and it's waiting for you to claim it. Today, now, right here. Take a moment and ask yourself, what's one habit, one way of reacting, that keeps pulling you back into frustration and pain? Is it the rush to defend yourself? The need to prove others wrong? Or maybe it's something quieter, like letting negative thoughts swirl endlessly in your mind. Whatever it is, be honest with yourself. Because transformation starts with ownership. It begins when you say, "This is my pattern and I'm ready to change it." Now, ask yourself this: if not now, then when? How much longer will you allow your peace to be dictated by others? How many more moments will you lose to anger, anxiety, or doubt before you decide to take control? Remember, no one else can do this for you. No external force will give you the calm or strength you seek. It's yours to claim. You have to own your journey, the struggles, the failures, the victories. Only when you take full responsibility for your reactions will true freedom begin. So right now, look inward. What's your next step? What choice will you make today that your future self will thank you for? Because every small decision builds momentum. Every moment of awareness, every pause before reacting, is a step toward mastery. The path isn't always easy, but it's yours, and it leads to a place where no one can shake your peace unless you let them. What will you choose? Right now, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads back to the old patterns, reacting, losing control, letting others dictate your peace. The other path, it leads to something greater, calm, strength, and mastery over your emotions. It's not easy, but it's possible, and it begins with one simple step, one decision to take back your power. Today, I want you to choose that step. Maybe it's something small, a moment of pause before reacting, writing down your triggers or repeating your personal mantra. Whatever it is, make it yours and commit to it fully. Because transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen when you keep moving forward, one intentional choice at a time. Remember, the strength you admire in others is already inside you. You have everything you need to become that calm, unshakable person. The journey won't always be smooth, but each challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Trust yourself. Believe in your ability to change. This is your moment, your chance to stop giving your power away and start living with purpose and peace. So take that first step today, because the life you want, the peace you deserve, and the strength you crave are waiting for you. Not someday, not tomorrow, but right now. You are ready, you are capable, and your future self is already proud of the choice you're about to make. Go forward with courage. Your calm, your power, your mastery, it all begins today.